afternoon, everybody. So honored to be here and to talk to you guys. I'm a human resource director for Manpower. I've been doing been in human resources for about 20 years. So if you guys are familiar with what Manpower West does, we interview a lot of people. We have 4,500 people out working at our client sites every week. So we work with clients to find out with our clients to find out what talent they're looking for, and we assess people that come through our doors to help find great matches for that talent. So it's through that lens that I'm talking to you today. One of the interesting challenges is that the work that you guys are doing every day to work with young people and to educate them on the world of work and to give them experiences that are going to benefit them throughout their education and throughout their careers helps get them ready for the end game. When I remember at a time before we were really working with workforce development in our community, I was interviewing a lot of folks. And then I was seeing a lot of young people and a lot of people who had established careers who had the skills and abilities to perform in the workplace, but they were struggling. And they didn't know why they were falling out of interview processes and why their job search strategies weren't successful. And it's interesting because I was like, you just want to stop the interview and say, let me just tell you what's not going well here. If I could just please. But you don't always have that opportunity. You don't always have the opportunity to stop the interview and just give some feedback on presentation. So I'm going to share some trade secrets with you guys this afternoon. And hopefully you'll be able to build this information into some resources that really help your young people so that they won't struggle in their job search strategies and their career strategies will be successful. So I thought a way to kind of put this into some frame of reference is to really talk about the importance of attitude. And for the purpose of our discussion, attitude is going to be the lens through which we see the world and the lens through which we move through and navigate through our experiences. So, if we were to assess ourselves instinctively, which one are you? Which one am I? Am I a glass half full individual? Am I a glass half empty individual? And what the heck does that have to do with interviewing and being able to successfully compete in the job market? Well, it's interesting. The question really is, do we see opportunity? What is an interview? An interview is a business meeting that I called as the job seeker. And what relevance is that? When I call a meeting, there's a certain energy that I bring to it. If I call a meeting and people are willing to meet with me, I'm excited. I'm already winning. And more often than not, we tend to feel like an interview is something that happens to us, that they're making us do. I've already met with HR, and now I have to go back and meet with the hiring manager. I've already been there for 2 interviews. Now they're going to make me come in and interview with the team that I'm going to be working with. How successful can you be in your interviewing process if that's the perspective that you have? So one of the first things we talk about is that we're in control. I'm in control. If I'm going into this process, I'm in control of my own career search. I'm calling the shots. But what gets us into that headspace? What makes us feel like we have control over this process? And what makes us feel like we're on the train, we're not standing on the tracks waiting to see what's going to happen? Because one feels very different than the other. One of the most important things, and what's critical and what you guys are doing such a great job on and learning more about, is understanding ourselves. Who am I? What skills and abilities do I bring to the table? What knowledge do I have? What experiences have I had up to this point, and how have they impacted who I am? And what value does that bring to the job market? Understanding who we are, or in human resource calls this our SCAs. Knowing what our SCAs are and what value we bring to the job market helps us feel in control. You know, one of the things that make us nervous about interviewing for a new job is the unknown. We don't know what they're going to ask. We don't know what they're going to talk about. Well, I've just given you 50% of the conversation. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about your skills, your knowledge, your abilities, your experiences, and the impact they've had on you to this point, and how you want to use those moving forward. That's 50% of the conversation right there. The next question is, well, what's the last half of the conversation? And that's the position that you're competing for. What's the position? What's the job? What does it require? And here's the piece. Sometimes people become frustrated because they feel that they don't have the knowledge about the position or the organization, or they're frustrated because they feel that they're not able to effectively communicate. They see, I'm qualified for this position. It may be a role that they've already had experience in, and they don't feel like they're navigating the interview process appropriately. Well, here's a tip. Most people that apply for positions, I want to say about 75%, 80% are going to be qualified. But organizations aren't looking for people that are simply qualified. They're looking for rock stars. They're looking for who's going to have the most impact on my team, on my organization, who's going to help drive this organization and its goals and objectives forward. That's the individual that they're looking for. So an individual who understands the position for which they're competing, they know what the tasks are, what the responsibilities are, the type of communication, the level of people engagement is involved. They understand all of these things. They're able to step outside of the candidate role and ask themselves, if I were the manager, if I were hiring for this position, what would a rock star look like? And talk about their own experiences in a way that connects with that. As an employer, as an HR manager, as a hiring manager, I love when candidates are able to do that. When they're able to really understand the role and to tell me what the rock star looks like and to display to me rock star behavior. Love this, love this, love this. So, once we understand ourselves and what we bring to the table, and we're able to communicate our understanding of the role, what's next? And that's telling our stories. So those experiences that we've had and an understanding of the core competencies that the position requires, we're able to link those up and tell fantastic stories about ourselves. And I'm not sure, you guys are probably very familiar with the STAR format. Some organizations call it CAR, challenge, action, and results. Some organizations call it STAR, situation or task, action, and results. And it's a brief story about a situation or task that you took on, the actions you exhibited, and the results of those actions as they relate to a core competency of the role. When we're able to do this, we shine. When we're able to understand the position and we understand how we fit into that role and how it plays into our knowledge and our abilities and our interests and our experiences, some of that anxiety about competing for the position goes away. And we're able to exhibit how we're rock stars. And those same skills that help us compete for the position and get the role are actually hugely important in being able to grow once we're in the position. So we can't say enough about this stuff. So the fact that you guys are having conversations with young people around who they are, what their interests are, things they like to do, what their experiences have been, and tying them to jobs and to career paths and to industries and things of that nature is really preparing them for the end game. It helps them to be relaxed. It helps them to be confident. It helps them to feel like they're in control. And when we're in control, we can be successful. And I can talk for another 100 years about this stuff, but I'm here for any questions you may have on this and some communications. I know one of the things that I find helpful in being able to alleviate some of the anxiety that comes with the competition, that comes with job search and navigating your career searches and your job searches, is to really think about, we tend to think that the employer has the onus for making us feel comfortable and for helping us helping us be engaged in the interviewing process, and that's not what it is. When we call the meeting, guess who has the responsibility? Our role is to step into that meeting and be the hospitable party, to help the employer see how we're the solution to what ails them, how we come to the experiences and knowledge and skills and abilities and the excitement and energy that we bring is of high value to their organization and that they want to engage us further. So back to our original question, what is the importance of attitude? What role does it play in success? And what role do you guys have in helping young people be able to get into the right headspace and develop the attitudes that are going to make them successful, regardless of what type of work they go into for the rest of their lives? Thank you.